FX Nation, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, we're going to go ahead and go over some of the trade setups from London and also U.S. session that happened also with the Brexit voting and things of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it and take a look at, first of all, the pound pairs. Guys, the pound pairs they all did the same thing. Literally, same exact thing. Now, the key thing is that these pound pairs actually gave you what was going to happen before it actually happened. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and go over that now. So all the pound pairs during London completely dropped. Okay, pound Jappy, pound CAD, pound NZD, pound Swiss, pound AUD, pound USD. They all did the same thing, right? So to me, it was pretty easy to trade the pound during London. Okay, because they all did the exact same thing. They all had pretty much the same setup. Okay, so let's just first dive into what the setup is that we were looking at on one pound pair, and we just basically followed the same thing on the other pairs. Okay, so pound USD. So pound USD, what we were looking for essentially is we saw that, as you can see here, this is a high from yesterday, and you can see, guys, the high never got breached, right? So here's our Asian session from yesterday, and so we ended up getting an M formation here, but really it was a triple top at what it was, right? So we ended up getting 1, 2, 3, and then a drop. Okay, now granted, the setup actually happened during Asia. Okay, and one thing I want you guys to understand is that once you get consistent with understanding how the market maker cycle goes, how the pattern goes, and the timing, you guys will be very good at predicting this before it happens. And that's where you get the actual edge in trading that nobody else has. Okay, so in this particular case with the pound pairs, we had 3 hits to the hive yesterday, and they all failed. We ended up getting an M formation here during Asia. Okay, and the second leg of it was a railroad track. Okay, so I got into that trade right away. I wasn't waiting till the end of Asian session, because I knew when you've been rising for 2 days straight, you need to get some of that cash flow back before the big vote comes in, especially if they know that the vote is going to go a certain way, which we already knew the vote was going to go a certain way. Okay, so then the question becomes, how do you trade it? Okay, well, we have 3 hits to the high, railroad track, and a sell. Okay, first time is to get to Mayo, and then anything after that is a gift, right? So if you're entering in that trade all the way, you're looking at about 196 pips on one pair. 196 pips. You do that on the other pairs, game over. You were already done trading before any of the news crap hit, right? So just think about that. Think about the fact that you didn't need to worry about trading news or anything like that, because by the time all that stuff hit, you had already collected. You could have collected over 800 pips, right? So here we go on pound AUD. Asian session here. We have our move to the low, comes back, goes down, comes back up again. Most of you guys, right, would have been like, oh, here's a W formation. I'm going to trade it here and here, which you can do that, right? Because it's a clear W, right? But at the same time, you need to understand what the bigger picture is going on. And especially with Brexit news coming out, there's a lot of other factors that go into trading the pairs whenever there's a big decision happening. Okay, so yes, you could have traded the W, you could have taken it to water or even blueberry. That's perfectly fine. You would not have gotten a lot out of it. Okay, you're looking at maybe 30 to 40 pips depending on where you would get out at. But the bigger picture, right, is to the downside. This ended up being a type 3 setup to the downside. Okay, and so here's the middle of that Asian range. There's the middle of the range, and what happens? We hit it again, and then we get a nice little pattern here. You go in here, your stop loss is here, and you grab those pips along with pound USD. Okay, so you basically turned the type 1 setup and then you turned it into a type 3 setup. So if you're trading it, if you were trading it both ways, you could have done both things, right? But you have to know what's going on. You have to be aware that, hey, I'm in the middle of the Asian range, and look, it's getting rejected at the middle of the Asian range. Look, right at 7 o'clock in the morning, got rejected. Boom, we got a nice little star pattern here. Boom, we're taking it down. Okay. This one here was about 170 pips. Pound Swiss. Pound Swiss gave us a more clear setup for you to trade. Okay. And that was here where we got railroad tracks and straight down. Right? Now, some of you might have seen, might have said, hey, this is an M here. No, it's not an M there. Why it's not an M? Because you had railroad tracks going back up. That's not an M. Okay? You just wait, let this, and especially if the other pound pairs are already moving, like, you have to be aware of that as well. Okay, so a thing that I like about the fact of using, like, let's say TradingView, is the fact that you can do multiple screens, right? Multiple sessions. So you can go here and click and you can watch multiple windows at once like this, So very cool feature to have. If you're using MetaTrader also has that feature as well. So just make sure you're taking advantage of it and you're looking at the other pound pairs. Okay, but this is a clear type 1 setup ending in a railroad track, and you have another 100 pips there. Okay. Let's go over to pound NZD. Here's the Asian session, and what do we have? Middle of the range, same thing. We hit it once, come back, see if we can get some people to buy, come back up, hit it again. What do? We sell it. Okay, this is exactly how we talked about on the levels. We go back, hit it, come back, boom. In the middle of the range. That's a type 3 setup. That's the perfect type 3 setup. Right there for selling. Okay? You can't get any more clear or better than that setup. That's another 170 pips. Okay? Pound CAD. Pound CAD did the same thing that pound USD did. Okay? It didn't give us the perfect setup. Right? It didn't give us the perfect setup because it did it way early. Just like pound. Just like the pound USD. Let's take a look here. Let's compare them. There's pound USD. Here's pound CAD. I mean, they look identical. Right? They look identical. This happened at 1 o'clock. This happened at 1 o'clock. Identical patterns. I mean, look, you can't get any more identical than these two pairs. right? So it would have been the same exact thing that you did on pound USD. You would have done it on pound CAD. You would have just taken it early. Okay. And again, this comes with experience. Okay. So if you would have just even caught the clear setups of pound Swiss or pound AUD, right? Or pound NZD, I mean, would you still be complaining? No, you got 3 freaking pairs over 100 pips. You know, like, come on. But 2 pairs did to the mirror. They mirrored each other. Okay. And let's go to pound Jappy. Pound Jappy, same thing. I mean, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. This one actually went a little bit higher, but same type of setup. 1 o'clock at 1 o'clock. Railroad tracks. They all 3 pound Jappy, pound CAD, pound USD at 1 o'clock all produce the same thing. All railroad tracks, same thing. So if you were awake that time and you caught it, my goodness, you got paid. You absolutely got paid on pound pairs. Pound pairs basically gave away money during London session is what they did. Okay. Now let's talk about the whole Brexit vote thing. All right. So if we take a look, I want you to take a look at this. This is crazy. All right. So we got pound Swiss, pound USD, pound CAD, pound NZD, and we're missing pound Jappy. Okay. Look at what happened between 1330 and 1400. Just look what happened here. On all of them. And this is before any of the news hit. It's before any of the news hit. What does all of them look like? All of them have star patterns, right? Morning star, evening star, they all have star patterns, right? This is before any of the votes happened. You see the star pattern. I mean, you can't get a better signal than that. So that was a dead giveaway as to where they wanted to move the market. So that's one aspect of the giveaway that they did, right? Of letting you know where they were wanting to go with this. Second aspect you have to think is all the pound pairs dropped for what? 5-6 hours straight since 1 o'clock all the way through 7 p.m. Eastern time. So for 7 straight hours, all the pound pairs dropped at least 100 pips. You're telling me that they're not going to want to recover some of that? You think that they would actually drop another 200 pips? You know, it's 141 on this one, 170 on that one, 170 on this one, on what, 80, 90 on euro pound, 150 on that one, and 115 on that one. You think they would actually drop another 170 pips? I mean, you know, they've been collecting contracts pretty much throughout London, is what they did. They collected as many contracts for sale as they could so they can go ahead and 3 candles wipe out what it took 7 hours to do. So in 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, let's give them 45 minutes. In 45 minutes, they wiped out what it took 7 hours to do. Think about that. Okay, so, I mean, this does not get any simpler than what happened today with the pound pairs. Of trading the news before if you pay attention to what's happening to the structure before news events hit. I mean, it was just a dead giveaway of what they were going to do. Okay? You have to know what the market maker is able to do on a daily basis, right? On a daily basis, typically they can only move about 150 pips or so in one direction before they have to get back, right? And we're not talking about, flash crashes or anything like that, because all that's, that's out the window. We're not talking about that, right? That's literally 15 seconds of going high and then coming right back down, right? We're talking literally about 3 candles that they used as news to move back up 100, over 100 pips on all these pairs, after most of them moved that same amount of range throughout London. So just think about that, guys. I mean, this is, if the signs are there, if you know what to look for. So hopefully this showed you something. And as you can see, they all did the exact same thing. They faked everybody out, right? They faked everybody out on this candle here. This candle first started red, and it was all the way down here, right? So they faked 60 pips on that one. On this one, it was another 77 pips. On this one, another 77. So it's basically like 80 pips on each candle at the very beginning to spike, to get as many contracts as possible. The guys that were shorting this during London, as soon as they saw that, they're like, hell yes, put more lots, put more contracts, put more lots. And as soon as they got all the contracts that they needed, trust me, they moved the hell out of there, as you see on each one. And that is essentially what happened today for the pound pairs. So let's take a look at some of the other pairs that were also very good, clear setups for you to trade. Here is CAD Jappy. Okay, we had a nice type 2 pattern on CAD Jappy. Okay. Boom, there's your trade right there. Second leg railroad tracks, you take that all day long. Okay, that's another 30 pips there. Another one was Euro Jappy, very similar to this as well. There's your setup there. You had one opportunity here within the Asian session. Again, not the best one because that would have been the first leg, but it is a railroad track. Gave you a second opportunity to enter here on a railroad track as well. Okay. So either way, second M, leg, pass catch up, still would have caught 100 pips. All right, guys. So essentially, those were the setups today, guys. Pretty simple. I hope you learned something from the pound pairs. I really hope you learned something because I mean it was pretty blatantly, pretty blatant what they were trying to do, and so I knew what they were trying to do. I want to make sure that you guys had a glimpse of what they were doing, okay? Because this is stuff that they do all the time. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel and you have not had a chance, do me a favor, sign up for the free membership. The free membership to FXN Trading. There's the links are in the description. If you want to take advantage of the mentorship, that's a paid service. We have just a couple more spots available. Take advantage of that as well. All the links are in the description. Guys, again, I hope you learned a lot. Let me know what you guys thought of Brexit. If you guys were in any trades, did you guys trade? Just let me know. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about it. All right, guys. Until next time, be safe. Enjoy your week of trading, guys. Good night. Guys, one last thing. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch my videos. I really hope that I've added value in each of the videos that I make for you guys, and I hope that you're learning something. As always, guys, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please like and share the videos if you found value in them. And also, don't forget to visit our website at www.fxntradinggroup.com. Once again, guys, thank you so much. I'm truly blessed.